For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 4 of the 5th season here in the career mode Road to Glory. In the last episode we left off asking you which of the players that we'd gotten so far on our shortlist that you reckoned I should be signing, and we actually got to advanced contract talks with a couple of players, most notably Kurt Zouma and Renato Sanchez. We also have had a contract accepted by Eric Dyer. Now, there was a bit of a mix in the comment section, I have to be honest. The majority were, well, maybe not even the majority, but a larger percentage were saying actually maybe go for John Stones over Kurt Zouma. However, a number of you were saying that we should go in for Renato Sanchez if he accepts the contract offer. So, bearing that in mind, Eric Dyer can play at centre mid or centre back, so it would be a good squad option, and he isn't that expensive. So that's obviously in relative terms, at £21 million. So we'll leave that one on the back burner, but it appears, judging by your guys' feedback, that I think we'll be going for where are you? There he is, Renato Sanchez, and for John Stones. I'll go back in for John Stones. Obviously, Renato Sanchez starts about 78 rated, and he's shown great growth so far in this save to now be 84 in the 5th season, although obviously in save it's only the 4th. If you're newer to the series than the beginning of Season 2, I accidentally overwrote the save at the end of Season 1 heading into Season 2, so I had to rebuild it from scratch, and that's why we have a couple of players that don't have faces and have shown exponential growth, etc. And as such, we're only 4 seasons in the in-game save, but we're 5 seasons into the series, just as a quick recap. So let's go and throw a bid in for John Stones. I can't remember whether I actually have one in currently or not. I'll have to check on the transfer negotiations page. But we've actually still got 5 games to play before the end of the window. We've got Chelsea here in 3 weeks' time. In fact, it may even be 4 weeks' time. 3.5 weeks' time we have Chelsea. We might get there and play that game today. It depends what happens in the rest of the transfer window, to be honest. In the meantime, of us actually getting to that point, let's have a look at transfer negotiations. Transfer offers sent is the term I want. In progress. Where is Stones? Player waiting, apparently. I must have offered him a deal. Honestly, I can't remember. It's been a couple of days since I recorded that last episode. Like I say, I had to record ahead and then wait for your guys' feedback. But John Stones is in the works then. And you guys were leaning towards John Stones over Kurt Zouma, despite the fact there was still quite a strong pull for Kurt Zouma. Chelsea have accepted the contract, Chelsea have accepted the transfer offer for N'Golo Kante, but I'm gonna pull out of that one. We're not gonna offer N'Golo Kante a deal. They want 70 million for William Carvalho. That's not happening. But John Stones has accepted the contract we offered to him. So that will be the centre-back signing we make, which leaves us still a massive chunk of transfer budget left to bring in other players. We'll leave that Eric Dyer one still on the back burner, but John Stones is in, which means we now won't need Samuel Umtiti. So we can throw John Stones into the starting lineup. Of course, we are wanting to bring in some English talent if we can. And, well, John Stones is perfect for that particular requirement. So there we go. We have a brand new starting centre-back. John Stones will start alongside Kyle Bennett. We're still looking for someone to replace Loftus-Cheek with regards to the first-team spot. But, obviously, Loftus-Cheek will go onto the bench. And that will mean, actually, we can take Roussillon out of there now, and I'll throw Luke Berry on the bench because we made another sale. And Renato Sanchez will replace... Renato Sanchez will replace Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Loftus-Cheek will drop to the bench, and then Berry will drop to the reserves. But we are going for numbers now, as well as quality in depth, because, of course, hopefully, providing we can get through against Rosenborg in the qualifiers, we'll have 4 competitions that we're involved in this year. Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, Premier League. Emails still coming in thick and fast. Renato Sanchez has accepted his contract offer as well. So for £40 million and £100,000 a week, we now have a brand new starting central midfielder as well. Very, very pleased with that deal. Now, You guys will have to let me know whether I bring Eric Dyer in as well, or whether we... I'm not sure. Again, we'll leave that stored. Let me know in the comment section whether you think I should get Eric Dyer in as well. We have enough to be able to afford him. Great work, say the board. We've accomplished their brand exposure expectation of signing one crucial first-team player. Renato Sanchez is in already. That is that one done and dusted. Thank you very much. Great work, they say. Lyon have accepted 42 million for Tolisso, but we now don't need him. And Monaco have accepted 39 million for Fabinho, but we now don't need him. And also Dortmund have accepted 32 million for Julian Weigl, but we don't need him. Eric Dyer, though, could still potentially be someone that we maybe bring in. We are contemplating still selling on Joel Asoro. He, as of yet, isn't transfer listed. But I would be open to accepting bids for him if they come in. And we will put Renato Sanchez into the starting lineup alongside Paredes. Our starting lineup now looking even stronger than it did last season, with Weiser on the right, John Stones at the back, and Renato Sanchez in midfield. Once the season begins and we get out of the transfer window, I'll start training everybody again as well. I don't really want to concentrate on training yet until we know who's going to be in the starting lineup. So for now, Lozano is still my starting striker and Asoro is there on the bench. But whether that remains the case between now and the end of the window, we'll have to wait and see. We have 4 centre-backs, a number of central midfielders. In fact, I could bring in Eric Dyer and sell Hernan. In fact, you know what? That is what I'm going to do. Because then we have an extra centre-back option and an extra centre-mid option in the one player. So we have the depth in both positions, but not so many players at the club that I end up not being able to keep everybody happy. So I've just made that decision on the fly, but it's going to happen. We're going to sign Eric Dyer. He can play at centre-back and centre-mid, and that will be a great rotation option, which means we can then move on Hernan and raise a little bit more money with regards to that particular player sale. Right, let's go by position, and I want my CDMs. Hernan, 28 years of age, add to transfer list. Right, there we go. So on the transfer list currently is just Hernan now, I think. Oh, Hernan and Michael Antonio. I'm actually contemplating, in fact I will, remove Michael Antonio from the transfer list. So we're only looking to sell Hernan currently. However, if by the time the Chelsea game comes around, we haven't had any bids for Joel Asoro, I will look to add Joel Asoro to the transfer list, and then we'll take it from there with regards to the striking signing. But let's take Hernan out of there and put Eric Dyer in. Actually, let me just swap Roussillon around and then put you there. There we go. And I'll work that the other way around. Right, there we go. OCD is happy. Everybody is in position order. Superb. Well, that was an electric start to the episode, wasn't it? Drop the video a like if you haven't to this point, and subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. There will be, when will we be seeing this? Sunday afternoon. There was a vote this afternoon at midday for the second part of the brand new career mode vote upcoming. Make sure you go and vote on that. Liverpool have accepted a transfer offer for Emre Can. We're withdrawing from there. Bayern for Kimmich. We're withdrawing from there. Casemiro rejected the contract offer. We're withdrawing from there. And Jonathan Tah, we're withdrawing from there. Tah, I will keep on my shortlist though, because we might be able to sign him up on a free in January, which would be very, very appealing, to be completely honest. Kurt Zuma's accepted the contract offer, but we now are pulling out of that deal as well. So we actually had loads of deals accepted for us there, but we've already done our business. So the transfer budget currently is, well, tiny. But if Joel Asoro leaves, it will be for a substantial fee, and we'll be able to bring in a replacement for a substantial fee. So I'm not overly worried about things right now. Roussillon has had a bid for him, but we're going to reject that. In fact, I'll reject all future offers. I don't want Roussillon to leave. We currently have Roussillon, Kieran Gibbs and Rico Henry at the club with regards left back. So Rico Henry we could use as a makeshift left winger as well, to be fair. Similarly with Roussillon, because he's very, very good going forward on the left-hand side too. Fabian Schär has moved to Manchester City. Our youth scout has come back. Liverpool have signed Henri Saivet for £14.5 million as well. Let's have a look. Of course, we've got 2 scouts out now because we used some of our transfer budget to bring in another high judgment one. Keane McDonald's here. He's not going to be very good. He's not going to be very good. 69 to 94, but it's another goalkeeper. I just don't need goalkeepers right now. 77, that's his highest to 79. Well, you've got a 5-star judgment there, Keane, but you've not come back with any gems. 56 to 78 rejects, 60 to 82 rejects, 58 to 78 rejects, and 66 to 92. Again, good rating, but a goalkeeper. I need better from you, please, youth scouts. That's not good enough. I'd be interested to know what the... there we go. That's fantastic. Not necessarily what I was after. Give me 4 million and you can have him. I'd be interested to know what the media feel is our predicted league position. I'm not entirely too sure. I can check other than waiting for it to come up in that news feed there. Southampton have signed Wesley Hurt, and we've had an offer for Davinson Sanchez that I will be rejecting. That's I'll reject all future offers for him as well. He's going nowhere. One of our better centre backs, sorry. That's a little bit further forward. They reckon Liverpool are going to come 5th. Well, after their, 15th place finish last year, if not somewhere similar to 15th place, they would be expecting better. Leicester are going to match the £4 million for Hernan. That's fantastic. And Elliot Bennett wants to discuss wages. Okay, Elliot, I'm open to discussing wages with you. I don't think you're on much. So let's sort by centre-back. Elliot Bennett is on £725 a week. Yeah, I'm more than happy to offer you 1,000 and that more, and then actually give him an important first team player as well, considering he's now the second highest centre back at the club. Just out of curiosity, who's running out of contract? Watson and Brown, and that's it this year. We're not really too fussed about either, so we should have enough money left over at the end of the season to be able to offer them contracts without having to worry too much about that now. I really want to know what the predicted finish is for us here at Cambridge, especially considering we've improved a lot. Elliot Bennett has accepted his contract offer. That's fantastic. And we're just waiting for confirmation of that Hernan sale. And like I say, if we haven't had any offers in by the Chelsea game, I will put Joel Asoro on the transfer list. And as of yet, no transfer offers in. Stoke apparently expected to finish 19th, and they were pushing for European football last year. So it appears either the media don't know what they're talking about, or teams that did poorly last year will do well, and teams that did well last year will do poorly. Southampton are signing Duvan Zapata for, was that £17.5 million? Kevin Campbell is going to Crystal Palace for £20.5 million. There's quite a few sizable transfers going down in this window so far. Let's have a quick look and see. I might be in the way, so I'll just read them out to you. The largest deal so far is, of course, Clark Salter from us to Arsenal for £62 million. The second largest deal also involves us, Renato Sanchez, £40 million to Cambridge United. And João Cancelo has gone from Valencia to Everton for £34.5 million. That is their Seamus Coleman replacement. Bentaleb has gone from Villa to Newcastle. Sanson has gone from Nantes to Spurs. And then I don't know who Raman is, to be completely honest. But we're about to jump in to the first game of the new season. We'll play Chelsea today and then advance as far as Rosenborg. And then we'll play Rosenborg and Leicester tomorrow. And then Rosenborg and Spurs the day after that. And then the transfer window. And then we'll be back up to 3 games per episode. So let's actually add Joel Asoro onto the transfer list now whilst I think of it. And you guys will have to let me know in the comment section down below what you... Oh, Navarrette's 90 rated now. I hadn't even noticed that. He's just shot up to 90 rated. And Joel Asoro is now 84 rated. I mean, look at... 99, acceleration, sprint speed, dribbling, short passing, shot power, and 93 finishing. I know I really shouldn't be selling him, but I would like to bring in someone that isn't artificially inflated because they were a recreated player. So we'll see what we can do with regards the rest of this window. Although, of course, with the amount of money we have at our disposal at the minute, he would have to leave to then for us to be able to bring someone else in. Greco's gone up to 87. Sanchez is already up to 85, Stones is already up to 84, and Watson is already up to 85. So there's been growth across the board already in this window, even in the past couple of weeks since we signed those 2 new players. Our team is looking better and better and better. I'm very excited about this upcoming season. Hopefully you guys are too. Let's head over to Stamford Bridge and see if we can start the game or the season with a win in the first game. Here's Chelsea's lineup. Begovic, Callas, Zuma, Miazga, Aspi, Mikel, Angban, Matic, Cuadrado, Costa, Kennedy. That's not a very strong side. You can see Hazard, Varane, Courtois, Kante and Bonucci all on the bench. Chelsea beat me last year, I think, didn't they? Despite fielding a lesser team. So we'll have to wait and see whether our new signings... Well, oh my God, what's going on? It just kicked off with it still in that view. I absolutely panicked there. I thought for a moment it was going to actually try and make me play the game whilst in that view. That was really odd. Renato Sanchez obviously involved in the middle for the first time, and John Stones involved at the back for the first time. Two new players in the starting lineup. This is Mitchell Weiser's first competitive game in a Cambridge United shirt, of course, after playing almost all of the pre-season games. It's a good ball in, and Paradis with a wonderful clearance. Mitchell Weiser should keep that in and does just. I've given that straight to Diego Costa there. That's not entirely gone according to plan. Is Angban. Opened up a bit for him there with some poor defending, and Angban's in the box, but he's chopped Kieran Gibbs there, although I think it was an attempt to get to the ball. Never mind. Well, a nervy opening 5 minutes or so, but still at 0-0 for now. Nice tackle by Paredes, actually. We might be in to make it not 1-0 for now. Get that back to Paredes, and I'm going to go all the way out there to Mitchell Weiser. Took an age to reach him. Going to cut back. Renato Sanchez is there. Sanchez on his debut. Fires it straight at Angban, unfortunately. Never mind. It will be 0-0 at the beginning of this game. Paredes out there to Weiser. Pull that back into Paredes. Through that gap to Lozano. Navarrete's there. It's going to deflect to Paredes, and I'll dink it looking for Lozano, who's in behind the diving header. Straight into the waiting arms of Asmir Begovic. Our first chance of the game. And it was a decent one too, if only that had been angled away from the keeper. Going to get another opportunity here though, Lozano. And Begovic this time makes a better save, a more impressive save, a more difficult save. But unfortunately, still yet to score. Matic to Diego. Good tackle by Renato Sanchez, but Diego Costa strong enough to win it back again. Here's Kennedy in there to Angban. Through to Kennedy again. Up against Elliott here. Elliott Bennett with the block, and the keeper can't keep it in. Corner Chelsea. Chance to come. Nemanja Matic, weirdly, the man to take it, but it's a decent delivery, and Greco won that header, and it will go back out to Nemanja, who lost it back in, and it just hit Miazga on the chest and went wide. That's a let-off. Corner for Chelsea. Matic again to take it. 2 minutes to go to a half-time. Well, it's towards the near post. Renato Sanchez just gets that away. That's the kind of overpowered style corner that you see on Ultimate Team all the time that is so infuriating and practically impossible to defend against. But Miazga battling here with Lozano, gets that back out to Matic. There was a little bit of FUT Champions rage coming through there with the goalkeepers, or goal with the corner, sorry, and let's just get rid of this, shall we? There we go, punt it and get it clear. Drops to Thomas Callas, but it is going to be, hopefully, despite there being 3 minutes added on, 0-0 at the break. Corner for Chelsea. They've had 61% possession so far. Quadrado whips the ball in. Underneath it is Matic. It drops to Matt Miazga, and somehow it squeezes wide for another corner. Not entirely too sure how that stayed out. John Stones and Aidan Watson combining to get rid of that, and Watson will come and claim this, hopefully, and has done. And that probably will be half-time. I'll just take my time, and before I get the chance to throw it out, it is the break. Matic through to Diego Costa. I see the runners, one of which out wide here is Kennedy. Chelsea have brought on N'Golo Kante at half-time for John Mikel Obi. We'll see if that makes a difference to their midfield. Kante basically a faster, better defensively version of John Mikel. Obviously, Mikel well known for his defensive abilities, but not so much for going forward, and not so much for his pace either. But Kante's quick and good in the tackle, and probably just as strong physically as John Mikel, despite being shorter and smaller physically, but obviously a vastly superior footballer, so we'll have to wait and see how things go. I missed the challenge there with Renato Sanchez, perhaps rushing things defensively, because I'm getting pretty frustrated here with just the amount of possession that Chelsea are having. This is their 5th corner of the game so far, and I'm really struggling here to get the ball away. They had me pinned in at the end of the first half, and the second half has started in the same vein, but Trippier will get this away, and Mitchell Weiser will just look to accelerate away just to ease the pressure on my back line. Renato Sanchez is there. Got Navarrete inside, and I'll look for Mitchell Weiser again. But Azpilicueta's going to cut it out, but Weiser steals it off him. But Matt Miazga covers the defensive ball, and now Kennedy's in behind at the other end. God, this is getting stretched now. It's going from end to end. It's a good ball in. Bennett chests it down. I told him to clear it first time, but he didn't, unfortunately. But never mind. We will work it away and hopefully this time keep hold of possession for more than just a couple of moments. I'm going to work it back to Renato Sanchez to try and do exactly that. Navarrete, I'm going to look for the ball over the top to Mitchell Weiser. I know I said a way to keep hold of possession, but I've then played a rather risky ball. Mitchell Weiser up against Matt Miazga, who he has beaten for pace. See Renato Sanchez there on the edge of the box, get it under control, and the shot. Good save by Begovic. Despite us not actually creating much going forward, Begovic has still made 2 or 3 decent saves in this game so far, and at the hour mark, we are still sat goalless. Sanchez through to Lozano. The run of Navarrete around the outside. Navarrete turns back inside and deflected into the bottom corner. We lead. It took a deflection off Kurt Zouma and they just said in commentary it's gone down as an own goal. The shot must have been off target. Yeah, it looks like it was rising over the bar. It's come off the underside of Zuma's arm and arrowed down into the corner. Begovic beaten. Cambridge 1, Chelsea 0. Oh, it's unfortunate. He signed a contract for us, Kurt Zouma, but we pulled out of the deal, and now he scored an own goal against us on the opening day of the season. Sorry, Kurt, it just wasn't to be. There to Greco, and he's made the run there, Kieran Gibbs, and Cuadrado started to track him, and then decided to just let him run. Greco get it through there to Lozano. Oh, I did see Navarrete arriving, but couldn't get it to him. Bertrand Traore has come on for Diego Costa now, so another injection of pace. Bertrand Traore, another player we contemplated signing actually last year from Chelsea on a pre-contract. Cuadrado shoots and he's drilled it in, and who's going to get to that first? It's Weiser, thankfully. Again, the keeper coming to our rescue, just as he has done a couple of times in this game. But to be fair, Begovic has come to the rescue for Chelsea a couple of times as well. And unfortunately for him, it wasn't really his fault for the goal either. The initial shot from Navarrete was going over and deflected from Zouma. Didn't really leave him with much chance, but 12 minutes to go, or 11 and a half minutes to go plus stoppage. Our 1-0 lead still intact. He's Aspie. Another lofted ball in, but they just keep throwing crosses in with no real man in the middle to aim for. Getting a bit... Oh, I thought that was going to reach Lozano. Getting a bit hopeful here with Chelsea without really putting too much thought into their chance creation. Getting a bit careless. Kante, again, another lofted random ball forward. Showed good strength to hold off Renato Sanchez, but just couldn't find the pass on the end of it. 7.5 minutes to go. Still 1-0 Cambridge. Oh, it's a great ball in, and it's a good save by the keeper, Bertrand Traore, very nearly turning that home from a couple of yards out. Angban in the box. That was deflected on towards goal as well. Thankfully, Watson makes a good save again. Greco going to get closed down here by Cuadrado, but work it around well. Navarrete caught on it. I'm making a couple of changes, but I might need to adjust that because it looks as if Navarrete stayed down injured, although I think he's back on his feet. No, he's not. Greco will turn inside here, and he's done brilliantly, but Kurt Zouma comes across as I was about to square that there to Lozano, waiting to tuck it home for a second. He is back in the action now, Navarrete. You saw there I was just in control of him, but not sure how long he's going to be injured for. Hopefully not long at all. It looked as if he went down holding a shoulder, but we'll find out as the whistle goes and we head back to the menus how long he's going to be out for. But a win, a victory on day one of the Premier League season. Chelsea with a number of efforts, but apparently none on target. I think that's a bit of a myth, considering I'm pretty sure keeper had to make 2 or 3 top saves to stop them from scoring. But they dominated possession, had plenty more chances than me, but we were efficient. A 1-0 win away from home, perfect start to the season, a clean sheet and a victory against, arguably now, considering the state of our team, title rivals. We are now pushing for the Premier League title after a 4th place finish last year, and a team with 90 rated players, 85, 86, 87 rated players in there now as well. We are title contenders this season. We just have to be honest. That's the level of expectation we should be putting on ourselves. But no bids for Joel Asoro so far, despite the fact he is now on the transfer list. So that's intriguing. We'll have to wait and see what happens in that regard. Pretty sure I put him on the transfer list, didn't I? Just to double check. I did. No offers yet. We'll have to wait and see what happens. If he doesn't sell now, fine, we'll keep him till January. But I would like to move him on if possible. But you can see there just the quality that we have in the side now. But that's going to be all for today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. Let me know striking suggestions for when the Asoro sale happens. It'll either happen in this window or in January, but Asoro will leave us and he will be replaced. And I need to know who to go after when that happens. I'll see you next time.